is about the role of a group worker in aiding disaster survivors. Now I will give introduction for the disasters. For the introduction for disaster. Disaster is a disruption on a massive scale, either natural or man-made, occurring in a long period or short period of time. Examples like earthquake, landslides, floods, etc. Disaster, whether natural or man-made, often left the survivors facing severe physical and emotional and psychological distress. The group worker plays a vital role in helping the disaster survivors who suffer from these traumatic events. Group worker support, promote healing, and empower these people to regain control over their lives. Now, I would like to talk about the definitions of a group. According to Barron and Bryan, a group is two or more people who are engaged in social interaction. They have a stable structure relationship. They are interdependent. They share a common goal, and they perceive that they are part of a group. According to George Fomans, a group is a unit of two or more people come together for a purpose and consider their interaction meaningful. Now, I would like to talk about understanding the needs of disaster survivors. So, for a group worker, understanding to help to be able to help these disaster survivors, he or she needs to understand the needs of these disaster survivors first. Some of the needs are immediate needs. Immediate needs are basically the basic needs like the safety and shelter. After a disaster, survivor often requires immediate protection from furthermore harm. Access to safe shelter is essential, whether temporary, such as evacuation center or more permanent housing solutions. Number two, B, food and water. Food and water, access to clean drinking water is essential, and of survivors often face food shortage due to disruptive supply food chains. So the group worker needs to look after these needs of the survivors. Number three, medical assistance. Medical assistance, immediate medical care is vital for treating injuries, managing chronic condition, and addressing mental crisis that may arise. And then number two, emotional and psychological needs. Not only the physical needs, but the emotional and psychological needs of the survivors also should be um, taken care of. These needs, the emotional and psychological needs include number one, giving psychological first aid. Many survivors experience trauma and grief when they go through a disaster. The group worker needs to provide for psychological first aid, which can help them cope with these and promote PFA. Now I will tell about PFA, psychological first aid. Psychological first aid is a practical, supportive, respectful way to help people to overcome the distress caused by traumatic events. Now, the second point under the emotional and psychological needs is support groups. The group worker should facilitate peer support and group therapy and provide a sense of community and shared experience, helping survivors process their feelings and rebuild their resilience. Number three, mental health. Access to professional mental health care is essential for those suffering from past traumatic disorder, PTSD, depression, or other psychological impacts. Now, the social and community needs. Social and community needs is very important as as I have said before in the definition of a group, that a group consists of two or more people, and so as uh, people feel more um, happy when they belong to a community or they are a part of a community or a group. So the third one, social and community needs. Number one, according community connections. Re-establishing a social network is vital for essential support programs and encourage community mm, engagement can help rebuild relationship and foster a sense of belonging. Cultural number two, cultural sensitivity. The group workers should recognize and respect the cultural background of the survivors, which is important in delivering appropriate services and fostering trust. Number four, economic and practical needs. Under this is the financial assistance and access to resources. Financial assistance. Many survivors may face economic instability due to loss of income or property. Financial aid training or employment opportunities can be given to the group to the survivors for their recovery. Access to resources. Survivors needs information about available resources, schemes, including their legal assistance, housing options, and health services, which will help them more in their healing process. Then I will talk about the role of a group worker in disaster response. The group worker plays a vital role in aiding disaster survivors, some of which are number one, providing psychological first aid, PFA. I've already talked about psychological first aid. Um, the group worker helps the survivors by providing this PFA, help the survivors to feel safe and calm. They listen actively to the stories, offering reassurance and hope, and giving them hope without giving them false promises. They give them hope, but they don't give them false promises. Number two, facilitating group sessions. The group work on organize and facilitate group sessions where survivors can share their experiences. This group promotes collective healing by allowing survivors to share their feelings of loss, fear, and uncertainty. This helps the individual to realize that they are not alone in their struggles, but fostering a sense of solidarity. This also encourage mutual aid among group members, which can lead to more rapid emotional recovery. Number three, building resilience. Building resilience. Building resilience, the group worker focus on empowering survivors by promoting resilience. They help they help the individual to rebuild their coping mechanism. They help the survivor to recognize their strength and resources, encouraging them to be active participants in their recovery. They also develop strategies for dealing with stress, grief, and future uncertainties. Now I will talk about the key skills and approaches of a group worker. The group worker needs a combination of soft skills, specialized training, and empathetic approaches to be effective in disaster response. Some of the key skills include number one, active listening and communication skill. Active listening, the group worker must be good at listening without judgment. The rating this creates a safe space for survivors to express their feelings. The group workers should communicate clearly and empathetically to provide support. Number two, cultural sensitivity. Disaster can affect diverse communities, and group worker must be culturally sensitive in their approach. They should be aware of the survivors' background, traditions, and values to offer appropriate assistance. Number four, crisis management skills. The group worker must be capable of managing current urgent situations, including dealing with panic attacks, grief outbursts, and feeling of confusion among group members. These are some of the key skills of a group worker. Now I will talk about the collaborative efforts with other professionals. Group workers do not function in isolation. They collaborate with various stakeholders such as healthcare providers. They collaborate with these healthcare providers to address physical injuries and trauma. Number two, mental health professionals. Mental health professionals, they collaborate with these mental health professionals for cases requiring special psychological intervention. Number three, relief organization. The group worker, um, ensure survivors have access to necessary resources. Example, food, clothing, shelter. Some of the relief organization example are Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Number three, community leaders. The group worker collaborate with community leaders to rebuild the social fabric and create a supportive community atmosphere. Those multidisciplinary approaches ensure that survivors receive comprehensive care and that addresses their physical, emotional, and social needs. Now, representing about the long-term recovery and empowerment. Number one, support survivors. The group workers support survivors in developing long-term coping strategies. Number two, they help survivors rebuild social support system that may have damaged or lost due to disaster. Number three, they empower individuals to regain control over their life, re-establish their senses and or of self-worth and rebuild their communities. Number five, they provide survivors with tools to plan for the future and face the possibility of future disasters with greater resilience. And last, Group Walker plays an invisible role in disaster recovery by addressing psychological, social, and emotional need of survivors. Through groups facilitation, active listening, emotional and empowerment, they help survivors move from trauma to healing. Their contribution not only aids an individual recovery but also fosters community resilience, ensuring that survivors can rebuild their lives and emerge stronger from disaster.